Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 83 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. My name's Gage, and I'm here with Dan, of course. Dan, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. Different place this week. I'm doing good.
Yeah, up north. Yeah, I'm doing well, too. For anyone new here, Dan and I are the founders of StreamYard, and we do these town halls every single week at 6 p.m. Pacific. We do them for a few reasons. Number one is to stay in tune with you guys and go through the process you go through when you do your live streams. And to answer your questions. And then, of course, we always reiterate our values, our three pillars, which are ease of use, stability, and professional streams. So if you're about those three things, StreamYard is the tool for you. Let's see who's hanging out with us tonight. Lots of comments already. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Before I forget, we do have a couple announcements we always make for our weekly shows. So there's StreamYard Spotlight. Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, where Dana and Kelsey interview you, find StreamYard broadcasters and spotlight how you guys are using StreamYard, where you're finding success, so that we can all learn from your experiences. And then, of course, we have Ross Brand doing StreamYard Connect every week, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern, which is a great show where Ross covers the latest news in the live streaming world and will help you up your live streaming game. One exciting event happening this week is PodFest, where you can learn about, if you're a podcaster, or maybe even better, if you're not a podcaster and want to learn more about podcasting, it'll be a great virtual event to check out. They're actually going for a Guinness World Record, so that should be fun, and it's free. So just go to podfestexpo.com and you can learn more about podcasting and how you can. I think live streaming, video in general is being covered, and live streaming should be talked about as well. I'm curious how many people here are podcasters. I know many people will repurpose their recordings and turn them into a podcast.
Sweet. And what's the world record? What's the point?
Oh, that's a good question. It's I think it's the longest hours watched of a virtual podcasting conference. I could definitely be wrong on that. It's fairly.
That's cool. Any world record is still a world record.
Yes, just got to be in the book.
No, that's cool.
I would be curious. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, they're doing it online. Like, are they doing it like via social media, or is it like using like a conferencing tool or something? You know.
It's a good question. I'll find out when I click the invitation link. I think it might be on YouTube, but I'm not 100% sure. It's one good topic though. I'm curious if those of you, I know many of our many StreamYard users are into sort of going to, well, they used to be going to conferences and traveling to the various ones around the world. I actually went to Social Media Marketing World during their last conference, which was one of it was the only conferences I've been to where that one in F8, and it was a cool experience. So I'm curious what your opinion is on this sort of transition of in-person conferences to online conferences. Like, do you think they're as good? Do you think some parts are as good and some aren't? Like, where do you think there's sort of a gap there? Yeah, I'd be curious to know what your thoughts are.
So I know for me, and like, again, not a conference person either, but I know one huge win is not having to travel is pretty convenient, right? Like, you can get ready for an online conference in like 5 minutes. Tough to beat that, but yeah, I'm sure you're losing out on at least some stuff. But there's a lot of tools trying to like recreate as much of the experience as possible, right? So yeah, and I'm sure it's getting better as just because everyone's been forced to actually have to do it, right? So
yeah, I've seen all kinds of interesting stuff. Like some of them are incorporating like VR, and they have actual like virtual booths and things. So it's definitely interesting.
Great.
Jorge says, hi, please allow screen share on Android. Noted, Jorge, appreciate the feedback. I'd be curious, Jorge, what kind of stuff are you screen sharing on your Android device? Is it like a mobile game, or is it just applications themselves? I'd be curious to know how you're using it, because it helps us design those features.
Yep. And also, I don't know if this would work for you, but there are at least some tools to do. If you happen to be using a desktop as well, like you just want to share an app or something, you can actually go live on your desktop and then use a tool like Reflector. Reflector 3, I think, is the one I have. There's other stuff, and you can kind of like beam it in, like connect it from your phone and like screen share it. And it works very, very well. It's just obviously the downside is you have to be on a desktop and be sharing your phone. Like, people will use it to kind of walk through websites on their phone or something. But yeah, if you're doing like you're just going live on your phone, it won't work. So yeah, we would like to add something for that.
Gracie says, can I have link again? Yes, it's just podfestexpo.com. I'll just type it in there for you, Gracie. Expo.com. Jaden says, I like the Facebook group a lot. Thanks, Jaden. I'm actually a big fan of it as well. I actually included, it's funny you mentioned it, I included a couple posts that I enjoyed this week for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, we have a Facebook community group. If you just search StreamYard community on Facebook, it should pop right up. It's a great group for getting ideas and inspiration for how other people are broadcasting and what they're up to. One post this week that got a bunch of traction was someone showing their setup before they started using StreamYard, which I thought was cool. So sometimes you do need a setup like this, and it's cool to have all the fancy gadgets. But this gentleman was just talking about how now he's able to move from this to a much simpler setup. So I thought that was cool. And this was another example of someone's new setup with StreamYard, and he was actually requesting a talk back off the air feature, which I was curious how many other people. I think we briefly discussed it last time. Talkback is it's more of a TV studio term. I think I'm not very familiar with that sort of world, but it's more of a way to have internal communication. So in my earpiece, I could have a director being like, "Gage, what are you doing? Look at the camera more," or something like that. So I'm curious how many of you would actually use something like that.
I wonder if it's the type of thing where, like, if you're a trained actor, trained musician, that sort of thing, and you're used to it, you're like very good, you do well with it. Whereas maybe if you've never done it before, I could see having that. And like, for me, I'm just imagining like somebody talking to me mid broadcast and just like me stopping all of a sudden, like just being very awkward with it. But it is a cool feature. It's an interesting idea.
Rapper J says, can you add TTS to read out all donations? I think TTS is text to speech. So thanks for the request, Rapper J. I'm curious how you're taking donations now. That'd be interesting to know. Simon says, when you're about to hide a comment and a new one comes in, it shows on the live stream. Is there a way to stop this from happening? You want to take that one, Dan? I'm not sure I fully follow that one.
You're about to hide a comment, a new one comes in.
So you should always be able to hide the current comment, Simon. There's like a hide comment button itself that you can always use to remove the current comment. And when you click,
shifting, is it shifting? Like, is it shifting on you, Simon? Where like you're about to click it and like it shifts up and you click it, you get to add another one. So yeah, one thing you can do is, and let us know if I'm totally off here, but you can scroll up just a little bit, like just scroll up it, and it'll like pause the comments. So that is like, that's what I do when I'm doing, because if your comments are coming in fast enough, they'll always be shifting. So it's nice to kind of just like, scroll up a bit, then it's paused. But yeah, if we're off, just let us know and we can address the actual question.
Black Health Philosophy Live says, hello guys, would it be possible to invite a substantial number of people to a live stream, say 100, and sequentially cycle through them through the studio as in a Q&A session? Yes, so you'd have to be pretty organized, but you could do something like this. And I've seen people, I don't know if I've ever seen 100, but I've definitely seen like 40 to 50. And so generally what you'll want to do is carefully plan it out with a schedule and make sure everyone is aware, like make sure all 100 of those people have the schedule and know what time they're supposed to be showing up for their particular session to talk. It's actually a common thing that I see people doing for like virtual events that are like all day long. They have slots for each person. So yes, you can just, so when someone's talk is over, you just remove them from the studio, that slot opens up, you can bring the next person in. So yeah, absolutely, you could do something like that. Shadow's a fan of the setup I showed, very cool.
Yeah, that is cool. It was, and like you said, for certain things, I mean, kind of need, like television, obviously, there's a lot more than that. But yeah, it is nice to be able to replace some of that. It's not easy to operate all of it.
Gertich says, hi, why can't we use other language on banners rather than English? So you should be able to use almost every major language, Gertich. If we're missing one, shoot a message. If you just go to StreamYard.com/contact, there's a live chat there, or email us, contact@StreamYard.com. Let us know what language we're missing, and we'll certainly add it. But we should support most of them. Another possibility would be if you don't have the language itself installed in your browser, that could be causing issues for you. So maybe check that as well. Alexander says, can you remove the microphone status symbol next to the names? Yeah, thanks for the feedback there. I could see how sometimes you might not want that sort of distracting from the rest of your design. So maybe we can add an option to hide it at some point.
Yeah, fair enough. And you can hide the names. I'm guessing that doesn't work for you, but no, not right now. It's good feedback.
El Gusto De Lost 12 says more than 12 or more than 10 guests backstage. Thanks for the feedback there. I'd be curious, El Gusto, how many do you think you'd use? Would it be, 20, 40, 100? It's always useful to know how many people need.
Yeah, and I'd also be interested in like what kind of shows you're doing. Like, are you a kind of a producer where maybe you're not on camera but you're kind of managing a bunch of people, or is it you just have a show where you want to you are hosting it and you just want to have a lot of people?
David says, when adding a screen share, it would be nice if it was added to the lobby rather than directly to the live feed. Yeah, we've gone back and forth on that one a few times, David. It's a balance between like new people who go to share the screen and they think it's part of the live stream and it's not. And then they're very sad when they realize when the stream's over and no one was able to see their screen. And then a balance between people that are trying to do something a bit more sophisticated. But it's certainly an area that we can look into, seeing what we can do to improve it so both parties are satisfied.
Yeah.
Gurjit says, hi, again, I'm talking about Punjabi language, Gurmukhi script, so I'm probably pronouncing that completely wrong. But yeah, thanks. I'll check to see if we're missing that one, Gurjit. Michael says, I'd like to have 20 people for after the show so members can come chat. Right now we go to Zoom afterwards to accommodate everyone. Good to know.
Interesting.
Before I forget, there's a few other subjects I just want to make sure I touch on. So one of these is we're going to have a few folks join us to help us with content marketing and make content to help you guys become more successful and enhance your own strategies for your live stream. So if there's anything in particular you'd like to see, like maybe a course on Facebook ads or LinkedIn ads or strategies as far as like being confident on camera, if there's any topics that you could really use more information on, let us know, and we'll pass that along to our content creators. Another question I had is how you're currently promoting your shows. Like, how many of you are going out to your email list? Do you not promote them at all? Do you just rely on the organic notification systems of the social media platforms? Do you use advertising? We're curious, just as we explore a few features down the road, of what your guys' current workflow is. Also, in case people missed the last stream, we're actually right now we're in 720 right now because we wanted to because we recently made this week we made significant improvements to the quality of 720p. So if we're looking more clearly, do let us know. But last week we were in 1080 because it's available to professional users. You can now broadcast in 1080, but all users, the 720p should look significantly better. So in case you missed last week, that was updated.
Unless you've got lighting like me, in which case maybe it looks better than before, maybe not. Slowly getting darker outside right now.
Yeah, I can tell. There was also a destination bump for both basic and professional users. So basic users can now go live to 3 destinations, and pro users can go live to 8 destinations. And then there's a few other small things. So you should have gotten an email, so you can see all the details in that email. But recordings are stored longer. There's some improvements to overlays and screen sharing. Lots of fun stuff. Another quick thing before I forget is Dana's actually doing some user interviews. So if you're interested in chatting with Dana, you can either just in the comments maybe just leave a message letting her know you're open to being reached out to, because we're making some plans for some design changes and adjustments and new features we'd like to add. So Dana just wants to ask you some basic questions about how you're streaming now. Should be fairly painless, just a quick 10 to 15 minute conversation, but it would be very helpful to us. So if you're open to that, be sure to either just leave a comment in the chat or message us directly, StreamYard.com/contact. Let's get back to the comments section here. Art says, where are you streaming from? Dan's up north right now, where he's originally from.
Yeah, up in Canada. Well, we're always in Canada, but I'm a bit farther north in Canada, just visiting my family.
Lots of people are open to being interviewed. We appreciate that. Chris says the countdown clock is a nice addition. Glad to hear that. Yeah, we wanted to, I know there's some confusion about this, but everyone can use we have just like a sample countdown timer now. So free basic and pro users can all use the countdown timer. We mostly just wanted to give people a sense of what they can actually do with the video overlays, but I'm happy to see that lots of people are not just using it as a demo, they're actually using it. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Orlando. We appreciate that. Tom says, any plans to connect with Patreon? So don't have any formal announcements there, Tom, but I do appreciate the interest and feedback. It surprisingly does not come up very often. Like it makes sense to me that there'd be interest there. But it's something, if other people are interested in it, do let us know, because I do understand the need and why it would be a useful feature to add. AG Mr. Technology says, can we have admin/control/producer function? I help a lot of people with their live streams. Yes, that's an area we'd like to improve, AG. If it's your own account or they trust you enough to allow you to log into their account, it is an option to just be logged into the same account, and that will give you all the same controls they have. One thing I've been seeing more often than not is actually the producer will just use their own account and invite the person they're producing for in as a guest. So the person that's the host of the show is really just a guest while the producer is backstage, and I've seen that work relatively well. But we do want to add more features to help people that do not want to deal with account sharing or anything like that. So it is being worked on. Bruce says, thoughts on comments-based polling and displaying the results in real time? I definitely think it's a cool idea, Bruce, and we're always interested in working with the comments to enhance the stream, because I know it's one of the most popular features is the ability to engage with the audience through comments. So yeah, I think one thing we have to be somewhat careful of is I have to look at exactly what the rules and whatnot are, but I know some of the platforms want you to use their own internal polling features. They don't really want like emoji voting and things like that. So there's sort of things you have to navigate through, but we can look into it more, because I know there's a lot of fun stuff that could be done there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's mostly a Facebook thing with their polling. They don't want you doing do this, a thumbs up if you vote for this, or. But yeah, I'm sure there's stuff. There's a lot of ideas there.
Felicia says, do you think IGTV will ever be an allowed destination for streaming? If IGTV ever opens up their API, it 100% will be, because we'd love to support it. I can't speak for them, though. I don't know what their plans are. Maybe tweet at them, let them know that it's something you'd like to have. Let them know that you want to use StreamYard with IGTV, because we'd love to support it. But I can't speak for what their plans actually are. Nancy says, I love my little 8-inch ring light behind my monitor, Dan. Yes, both of us should probably invest in one of those.
Yeah, I don't exactly have all my equipment with me right now, unfortunately, just the laptop.
The nice things about those are they're pretty small, so you could probably just throw it in a backpack.
Yeah, the other one I'll usually do is, like, if I have multiple monitors, I'll just throw up, like, I'll just go to Google on the other monitors. Or just like any white page, and I find that actually works very, very well. Right.
Hmm.
Now, it's not great if you have glasses, same thing with the ring light, but other than that, it works pretty good, I think. Obviously, right now I've got one screen, though, and it's full screen white, and it's still not pumping up enough. And I've got a window right in front of me. It's just sun's facing the wrong way, so.
Jamie, appreciate that. I promote via social media, but would love tips on extending reach. So yeah, that's definitely a subject we can have our content creators cover.
Cool. Hey, I've got a huge flashlight next to me, so somehow I'm not thinking.
Not the right kind of lighting. Ring light would definitely be more effective.
Not exactly a ring light, is it?
Tim Judge for content would like some tips on building exciting screen shares and dynamic graphs. Cool. Thanks for the suggestion. Andy's a fan of the 1080p. Glad to hear that.
Sweet.
Orlando promotes organically through the LinkedIn network. Fantastic. Daniel's also a fan of 1080. Yeah, glad to hear it's working well for everyone. I know we were super excited to add it because these town halls, I think maybe half the comments used to be asking for 1080. So now we can venture into new territories. So that's nice.
Yeah, I'm curious what's going to fill its spot with the next biggest request or the next few.
Yeah. Gustavo says we did a product launch with StreamYard. Awesome, Gustavo. What was the product? I'd love to see it. I've been seeing more and more startups doing live streams, which I love to see because I know it was so helpful for us starting out that it's cool to see other people sort of embracing that. Because like now we have quite a few viewers, which is really cool. But when we were first starting out, it was, I don't know, we probably had maybe 5 to 10 viewers, but it was something to build on. And each week there was a few more, and it was really great for getting feedback and stuff. So it's cool to see other people implementing that strategy as well.
Yeah, anytime you're launching something new, like whether that's a startup or a new course or something, man, especially if it's like a long-term thing, it's not just something you're launching once. I mean, they both work, it's just different strategies. But yeah, for us, it's like a long-term, we're in this for a long haul. Let's start making friends with people. And yeah, it's great for that.
Brian promotes through other social media outlets, sharing on FB and email list. Yep, that's a great strategy. That's one that it seems obvious, but a lot of people don't leverage the fact that lots of people use multi-streaming, but they don't always leverage the other types of content you can post on different platforms to act as a means of promotion, like maybe taking your best clips from the live stream and creating little pieces of content there and using that to build more live stream followers. Alpul, it's a hard one to say. Applesick has 41K subs on YouTube. Congrats. And discovered StreamYard. Thanks for 1080p support. Of course, happy to do it.
41K, that's pretty good. Congrats.
Yeah, it's up there. Promo via videos and Instagram posts. Nice. Michael says, please allow us to bring a guest in without having it automatically bringing them in the middle of the show in the side-by-side list. Do you understand that one, Dan?
Got it. So this would be, it's another one of those things kind of like the one that David Burrows was asking where you like screen share and it automatically goes in. I'm thinking what Michael's saying is you've got a guest and they're down below and you click them. And if you were in like the solo mode, it'll take you out of it. As it's same thing. Like it's just a trade-off for us of making it like allowing you to do more advanced stuff versus like just making sure it always works and is super easy and doesn't confuse anyone. Like we could say you went to the solo layout, we could just keep you in the solo layout when you add someone in, but unfortunately there's just quite a few people that do that and then don't realize what happened. So it's another one of those, like adding a screen share, should it automatically, when you start screen sharing, should it automatically bring it in? We've always erred on the side of just making it as easy as possible, which I know does hurt the kind of customization for those of you that are a lot more advanced. But I don't think we'll change that one. Do you know what I'm talking about, Gitch? Did you get that?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Tangerine says, can we make the backstage is full message be removable? It keeps blocking the screen and I can't get rid of it. Thanks for the feedback on that one. Yeah, we can certainly look into it. Tangerine, I haven't seen the message myself in a long time, so I'm having trouble thinking of what it actually looks like, but Dan probably remembers.
Yeah, it's like a little white notification in the top left. And I'm guessing every time somebody rejoin, like even if you close it, every time they rejoin, it pops back up. Yeah, okay, that's good to know.
Victor would love to see help with marketing. Good to know. It's definitely a subject that some of the people we're having help us out will be great at creating content on.
Cool.
Paul would like a course on effective ads. Fantastic.
And any specific platform, Paul, or just in general, like whatever's going to work best for you, I guess?
Black Health Philosophy says, what happens when the number of people responding to invitations exceeds the allowed 10, in particular what do the excess invitees see when they click the link? So yeah, we just sort of briefly covered that, Black Health. But well, it's more like what the host sees. So the host will see a notification that someone's trying to join when it's full, and the person trying to join when it's full will basically just see a splash screen that says the broadcast is full. Is that right, Dan?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it says the studio's full. Like you'll need to wait until someone leaves before you can join. So we would like to kind of, I think Gage said, we would like to kind of improve that, see what we can do. But that, yeah, that's what it is for now.
Jamie says, can you please do these at a more UK-friendly time? Yeah, we apologize that it's tough for people in the UK. We'll probably always do at least one at this time, but we'll most likely add additional shows at some point as well to help out, so that we can say hi to our UK friends as well.
Yeah, we do try to do live streams every now and then, like middle of the week, to kind of announce something. It's not that common, but we have done them just to. Or I remember we did a giveaway in the middle of the week, but yeah, it is unfortunate. We don't want to change the time now though, because everyone's used to this. But yeah, we might add another show at a different time.
Kunal says, I would like to point out an issue where I've realized we cannot use GIF images in the event posted through StreamYard. Is this something that can be fixed? So inside the studio, you should be able to upload GIFs, Kunal. If you can't, message us, streamyard.com/contact, and support can help you out. But if you mean like the thumbnail image, that's not, in general, you can't use GIFs as thumbnail images on the platforms, if that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, I don't think, like maybe we could be off on that. I don't think you can use them on Facebook. I've never seen it. But we could test.
Thanks for the follow-up there, Paul. What works best for ads? Of course, I'm streaming to Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, but run a talk show, game show, and a relationship advice show. Cool combination.
Cool.
Hack the Box Meetup says, can we share audio without sharing the screen? So that's a topic that's been coming up a lot lately, is people wanting to more options as far as sharing audio. So the short story is not without additional equipment. So you'd need to use something like, as far as software, you could use something like Voicemeeter or Loopback. Excuse me. Or if you have an interface or a mixer like a Rodecaster, that's another way to bring in audio sources without sharing the screen. RLCC says it would be good if we can duplicate a previous broadcast with just one click. Definitely agree on that one, RLCC. At some point, hopefully we can add that one for you. I know I wish for that one myself every time we do the town hall. So thanks for the feedback. Tristan says, Mike is muted over middle of screen for producers can be distracting too. We actually are looking into that one, Tristan. We're adjusting how that's going to look.
Yeah.
Bruce says, thoughts on having temporary overlay of texting coming from private chat so it serves a more helpful purpose?
Right. I think Bruce asked for this one a while ago too. I haven't done it yet, obviously. I do get the need. So yeah, I would like to do something there. And I don't know exactly what it'll look like, but agree. So somebody messaged in the private chat, instead of just getting a bubble, you get like you actually see the message, or even like the first line or something.
Hey, Tim. It would be great if we could move around order of overlays. That is in the plans. I know it's been asked about for a long time, but it is in the plans. Hey, La Propuesta Radio, thanks for joining us. Sandy says, mobile comments on screen, question mark. On mobile, yeah, I'm sort of assuming the question here, but if you're streaming from mobile, you can click to show comments on screen. That is available. We're just about out of time here. Let's see if we have time for one last question. What is Loopback? Loopback is a Mac program that allows you to do some interesting stuff with your audio routing, as far as like getting songs from iTunes or other sources and combining them into a feed with your mic so that you can be talking and having music playing at the same time. It's not the easiest thing to use, but it is a solution for getting audio into the stream.
Yeah, like I guess just even to go a bit farther, like basically what it does, you download Loopback, and then instead of like on StreamYard using, like, say you have a built-in mic, like Mac's default mic, instead of selecting that in StreamYard, you would select like your Loopback device. And then in Loopback, you can kind of like bring in audio from different things. So you could have like, okay, grab the mic or grab the audio from my built-in mic that I was using before, but then also mix it with like my iTunes audio or mix it with like Chrome's audio or something like that. And that's how you can like play music or kind of do whatever you want. And like Gage said, it's not the easiest thing, but once it's set up, you should be good to go, right? You just like choose the Loopback device. And there is other programs, just like Loopback's the one I've used on Mac. What did you say the one for Windows was?
Voicemeeter.
Voicemeeter.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. This was episode number 83 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. It's so much fun hanging out with you guys, and thank you for asking your questions and participating. We will see you next week at the same time.
Excellent. See you, everyone.